Hi, everyone. Hi, thank you for being here. My name is Tran Lee, and I am the Events and Workshops Coordinator at the Asian American Writers Workshop. I am a Southeast Asian diasporic person wearing round glasses, and I have short hair. Behind me is a white wall with a floor lamp to my left, and to my right are various houseplants. I'm speaking to you from the traditional and unceded land of the Munsee Lenape and the Carnacy people, as they are the original stewards of the land. We thank them for letting us meet based in their territory, and we'd love it if you'd let us know where you're tuning in from in the chat. For those of you who are new to the Asian American Writers Workshop, we're a nonprofit organization dedicated to uplifting Asian diasporic literature and storytelling. At a time when our communities are specifically vulnerable, we continue to offer a space in which we can imagine a more just future. You can visit aaww.org, where you can sign up for our newsletter or follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We're happy to work with Pro Bono ASL for ASL interpretation this evening. Captions are also provided. Our ASL interpreters are Jimena and Travis, and we thank them for being here. To turn on captions, you can access the captions by clicking CC at the bottom of your Zoom screen. We're so excited to have you here. Please help us celebrate Ulanday Barrett's stunning work and the featured poets, especially in the chat. We ask that all audience members practice nonviolence in the chat. Comments that are racist, transphobic, homophobic, ableist, and/or misogynist will be flagged, and the person will be removed from this event. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our wonderful hosts for the evening, Jimena Lucero. Jimena is a poet, actor, and cultural worker. Her short film, Silver Femme, screened at the 59th Ann Arbor Film Festival, Outfest Fusion, Inside Out, and Newfest Film Festival. She was a 2019 to 2020 Emerge Surface B Fellow at the Poetry Project. Her writing appears in Zoe Glacia, The Recluse, Nightboat's Echo, and more. Jimena's work is rooted in trans liberation, disability justice, and future building. Please welcome Jimena.
Thank you, T. Thank you for that introduction. Welcome, everyone. I'm really excited to be here tonight. We are celebrating Ulanday Barrett's 2-year anniversary of their book, More Than Organs. And today is a queer Asian celebration. I'm happy to be hosting tonight, and I will be introducing all of these wonderful readers that are here with us tonight. Before I introduce our first reader, I do want to read one of my favorite poems from Kay's book. It's titled Love Artifact. The air is a thicket or jar of jam. We're breathing in bulbous catastrophe, but with layers of plexiglass over our faces. Breathing is a loose word. Shit, wearing masks used to be a fashion statement. No need. When they kiss you for the first time, masks are off. There are only 3 hours of free space air for us a day. This is what you chose to do with it. This is what you choose to do with it. Get wet like the ancestors before us. Fumble hair strands in eager crooks of palms. Make a garden of the minute. Bury your heart in the mud. Make your pulse bigger. It wasn't always this way. Lovers could sufficiently waste one another's time on the last planet. This is what old newspaper headlines state. Bumbling bumbling lungs that didn't have to beg for air. Plants used to be our source. Corals made way for more minutes. Oxygen of earth from earth. That was then. On this dome, we sneak glances over love interest in aluminum, save up our devotion in moments. We can't be remarkable in our eruptions like our grandparents. Spontaneity is fossil. Fingertips have long forgotten the concept of kinetic. Why did we let it get to this point? God, what would you do if they just touched your cheek without planning to? A new life they promised us. One better after the climate stopped grappling with our mistakes. We made far too many, and now to kiss is a daydream thing. Love artifact. Please take off your helmet. Welcome the storm. We can learn to breathe again, or let us just cherish this air. Let us inhale, even if it breaks us for trying. And I also I forgot to do a visual description of myself. I am a Mexican brown trans woman, and I am wearing a black shirt and some blue earrings with flowers on them, and the background is just white. Yeah, this is one of my favorite poems. It was written before the pandemic, and it's so special, and it's about love, disability, the climate, and I think that's what's so powerful about Kay's work, that it just touches on all these different themes, and Kay's just been writing about this before the pandemic even happened. So I'm really honored to be here, and I am going to introduce our first reader. Chrysanthemum Tran is a writer, performance artist, and historian. The recipient of a McCall Johnson Fellowship and a finalist of the Women of the World Poetry Slam. She co-produced the two-woman multidisciplinary show Anthem for the American Repertory Theater's Oberon. Her writing appears in The Nation, Them, The Offing, among others. Chrysanthemum lives in Rhode Island, where she serves as a staff member for the long-running Providence Poetry Slam. Outside of poetry and performance, she works as a trans health community educator. She's allegedly developing her first manuscript, which unveils the historical constructions and codifications of legal sex. I am so excited for Chrysanthemum. So everyone, let's welcome Chrysanthemum.
Hi. I'm going to wait a second. Are we all set? Perfect. All right. Well, hello, I'm Chrysanthemum. I am a Vietnamese trans person. I have warm, long hair and a denim top on with a black bandana around my neck. I'm not that into leather, despite what the bandana signifies. Anyways, I am so excited to be here with all of you tonight, and especially shout out to Kay for publishing a whole book, and also for convening a space that I was really actually excited to go on Zoom for. I haven't felt that sort of excitement in a long time. And I'm really glad to be here with all of you. The first poem I'm going to read tonight, I don't know, the poems I'm going to read tonight are like basically fan fiction. I don't know. And within my other work, I've been focusing on my role within a trans healthcare center. However, the trans bills about sports is really confusing for me because I don't really understand how trans women are the targets of fascism for playing sports when personally, I don't even really like sports at all. And there is one sport I like kind of follow, gymnastics. And if you had watched last summer's Tokyo Summer Olympics, you might know that Hmong American Sunisa Lee was the first Asian American all-rounder gymnastics to take gold for the US. Yes, I love Suni Lee, and I am going to read this poem about her called I Don't Even Like Sports. Suni Lee would have nothing on me had I fit into a leotard, a purple spark pirouetting across the skyline. Even physics couldn't stop me. Parkour, Yurchenko, somersault, handspring, handstand, that's the extent of my vocabulary for this sporting activity. Imagine my prowess had I dignified my nation with gold as a proud female gymnast in possession of a rare disadvantage, height over 5'3", a total medical mystery. Can't tuck a karyotype, cough it up, Bubba, blood drawn, blockers, quantify, marrow gone, minimize, muscle mass, blockers, atrophy, we're preferred, puny, forged by frailty. Who'd want to play with a kid who throws like a girl? Maybe like other girls. Sissy that toss, but wrestle with boys. I'm tracking, definitely. Sunisa rises in defiance of twisties, spinning earth beneath her soles, descending in the twin cities before high noon. Rooms inflate with kids ricocheting, wall to wall, certain they, too, can eclipse precedent till they exhaust all first evers that'll ever be. I can't keep score, distinguish one ball game from another, but I know iconic. Big budget milk mustaches, neon drips of Gatorade, month-long runs on Dancing with the Stars when work slows, when bodies slower. There's a time limit, a threshold not all cross. If you indulge me with a match, bet I'd make a good mascot to cheer on until the finish line. Would you hold your breath if I was better? Deprived Brooke of a full ride to putt or row, if instead of placing 9th, Madison finished 8th. If I shattered records and stayed unbreakable, if I won for sport and was never hunted for it, if I outsped, outswam, outlived, I am no sun rising above the horizon. I have no gold to my name. I'm just a girl in awe of another, disproving gravity. If I could have been, I would, but I wasn't, so I'm not. If a girl wants, she should win. Sweep, flaunt, upset, ribbon against gore and gaze, take it home. Hang it up, show it off, get cocky, enjoy the spoils, bring it on. Outclass any consequence. Girls like us are wanted, obliged to play with boys of vapid tactics, aim to ambush, strip us clean of honor, predate, expunge, Rain, they like that. When the pride comes to mount us like dough, cheat the trap, reverse the chase, poach the egg, chalk the airtime left behind. If we're game, they will be too. All right. I think I might only have time for one more poem, and this is like allegedly Shakespeare fan fiction. I've always loved Hamlet because I love a revenge flick for like a guy with daddy problems. Like, I don't personally relate, but like I am really happy Hamlet provides that representation for people who go a little buck wild when they inherit Denmark. Casual. Anyways, I've been really motivated by the fact that I think a lot about facial feminization surgery and what that entails, but also how anything involving the skull, anytime you stick a measuring tape besides the skull, I think back to different things, particularly phrenology. And beyond that, I also have always thought about in my head, does the word Caucasian have anything to do with Asian? The answer is like not really, but also then I learned what Caucasian came from. And this dude, this German scientist dude, had gone to the mountains of like Caucasus, and he picked up a skull and was like, dang, this skull is the most beautiful thing ever. Wow, like this is Caucasian. And because of that, I'm like, wow, science is like kind of fake. So this is a poem called Phrenology Hex. Thank you all so much. And again, thank you to everyone who is here to celebrate. And also thank you to everyone who's able to make this happen. Phrenology Hex. Head first, I emerge via C-section, a Virgo sun at twilight, waxing moon in Leo, fitting I'm a boar, squealing in the grip of modern medicine. We owe to God, not gossip of old wives. Before I was, Dad knew from the stars. His astrologist vows a child of heft, silk soft, rounded for a never-ending wealth of misfortune. I speak the spell of skeptics to tell a story before life is lived by the size of a skull. Destiny or by design, I inherit our gooseneck thyroid, slack-jawed defeat of science, proof of pseudonym as sport. Where's your Adam's apple? Aim TSA's X-ray, then assign a formula to flights of fancy. I welcome surprise, any interruption of fate. I'd like to not know. Even before I knew, I passed. Before mirrors, I surrender. My orbit exceeds the globe's girth. Birthright obvious, I measure my brow bone, envision a brain thieved for taxonomy, a perfect theater for staging a mutiny, not half bad for a heretic, thwarting what's God-given or prophesied. Verve alone, I scale mountains, mock the quitters. How abundant are they? Frozen in time, dotting snow like fruit flies, suspended in soap and cider. The years yield no obvious path, only unburied plots, trailing each other's failed ascent of Caucasia, a grave ripe for robbery, to be snatched, theorized, named, call it petty crime. I draw no line at defacing the dead, unmark the grave of each man whose science assigns me cockless at birth. I chickened out of my FFS consult, afraid of authority, of certainty. I did not reverse the dimorphic. I disobey prescription, lose count of each procedure I want, forego shovel, spade, obsession to neuter all evidence of evolution. Womanhood lacks a peak. Ask any anthropologist. Pluck me first by scalp. Record my progress. Admire how I unfold the taint of heredity, reverted back to Eve herself. Even Blumenbach could extol the virtues of a skull becoming unhandsome. At last, dead in the court of Johann's hands, I secure a gaze. I secure a gaze, croon and cry a song of fools, exhume his endowment, call that burglary in the first degree. But alas, I must make a poor man's Yorick if no one is laughing. Thank you all so much, and I'm so excited to watch the rest of this show. Thanks, everybody. Be safe.
Thank you so much, Chrysanthemum. That was an incredible reading. There were so many lines that stuck out to me. And that first poem about sports, trans people in sports, that was so, yeah, just incredible. As someone who has a prominent brow bone, a trans woman with a prominent brow bone, I really hear you on that poem about FFS. Thank you, Chrysanthemum. Everyone, please show some love to Chrysanthemum. I think that you can, there's some text going around of the social media handles of all the readers. So that's another way that you can follow the readers tonight. Up next is Rajiv Mohabir. Rajiv Mohabir is the author of 3 poetry collections, the latest of which is Cutlish by Fourway Books in 2021, finalist for the 2022 National Book Critics Circle Award, and translator of I Even Regret Night, Holy Songs of Demerara, Kaya Press 2019, which received the 2020 Harold Morton Landon Translation Award from the Academy of American Poets. His memoir, Anti-Man, finalist for the Penn Open Book Award and the 2022 Publishing Triangle Randy Schultz Award and the Lambda Literary Award for Gay Memoir, received the 2019 Restless Books Prize for New Immigrant Writing. Currently, he is an assistant professor of poetry at Emerson College. Everyone, please welcome Rajiv Mohabir.
Hello, my name is Rajiv. I'm a brown fag with a bald head, a nostril ring, and a red, blue, and yellow dupatta around my neck. I'm wearing a dark blue frame glasses, and behind me is a yellow chair, a coffee table, and a tapestry of a humpback whale. I'd like to start out by thanking the organizers for putting this together. Thank you to AAWW, to T and Jimena, to Aishwarya, Travis, Jina, to Chrysanthemum, who just read, to Woh, who will read in just a moment, and then also to Kay. And I want to say happy book birthday to More Than Organs. It's such a wonderful book, and one that I adore and that my students really adore as well. I'm going to be sharing some poems tonight from my latest book called Katlesh. And the first poem that I'm going to read is the title poem, and it's called Katlesh. And just a little bit of, for a frame of reference, Katlesh is the word that people in Guyana use, in rural Guyana, they use for the word cutlass, which was or is a machete or a cutlass, as we say colloquially. My family is from South America. I descend from indentured laborers brought to the Caribbean to work the sugarcane plantations after slavery was abolished. Katlesh. Noun. 1. Cutlass. 2. British blade machete. 3. Colony blister of cane knife. 4. Demerara brown sugar. 5. Kidneys, toes, eyes. 6. 7. Eldorado rumrot. And so a quick definitional poem to kind of introduce folks to the themes that I'm invoking into the room. The next poem that I'm going to be reading is called Hiranya Garba. And Hiranya Garba is the lotus that comes from the navel of Lord Vishnu, and in which is the egg that births the entire creation, according to Hindu mythology. And this is dedicated to the Hijras, who made the voyage from India as indentured laborers into Guyana specifically. One Hijra named Shriji, who I specifically refer to. Born of cane stock, I am the first mad woman to descend barrack steps into a body of petals. In some Indian story, this grass is my ancestor, but I don't know it. To forget means to survive. I am expert at amnesia. New moon faced, I have my own mantra. Somewhere my navel string sleeps under handfuls of rice field dirt. My father's father threw into sky to forecast gravity of shaping a ship. Now the land is erased under my feet. I am told I am nameless. We've spit out English, but this game of interpreting shadow, reading bodies into holes of text, a memory trick of presence. Oh, ancestors, I've inherited passing, how to disappear straight and to alveolarize my name, all blue, bribed by silk and hate, a relic, a lover's lip, a dead queer's tongue that licks assholes bald, back against shipboards, the many-toothed snake striking this body, a well terrible with kalapani. This next poem is called Hasa. And a hasa is a kind of fish in Guyana that lives in freshwater, and it's a kind of catfish that has plates on its body instead of scales. Aji means my paternal grandmother, and Aja means my paternal grandfather. Hasa. After Aja drowned and piranhas picked his body, Aji went to the trench with a stick and disturbed the fish's nest. So they leapt from the water straight into her basket as she sucked her teeth and laughed to herself. Ego eats sweet, but I live seas away. So Ma freezes her pan for me after blood of lung and gas bladder spread red across her butcher block, an attempt to recreate Aji's speciality. Ma knows exactly where on the belly between the head and the plates to insert her ceramic knife, to cut down and to push her fingers into the macabre cavity and rip from the meat, gall, pancreas, the Miocene lung-type vessels, and Ma's heart chamber opened despite its rusted latch. She still plays Anuradha Padwal's Cham Cham Chamke Chandani in the trench of this Floridian kitchen where I slip my fingernail underneath one plate, close to the base of the tail, and pull it forward so all the non-scales stack, exposing orange flesh. I look for the egg sac, whitish and curry, but find instead in the Hasa's mouth a silver coin sparkle like 4 drachma in the canal to pay the temple tax. But the real miracle Aji clung to, a secret Ma knows also, is this catfish called hasar. Before in Guyanese, we drop the R to hasa, stewed in pumpkin in Hindustani, means laugh. And that Aji and Ma have been laughing this whole time. And that this laughing fish is the avatar of the shekel parable, that Aji and Ma, like disciples of survival, without knowing where, through lines in the lake, and trusted enough to live without men in their nests. I derive such queer joy from chutney music. The way that chutney music is formed, the way that the speakers are always, identifying with their lovers, that kind of sexual dynamic that happens, makes me feel super seen in terms of my own gender expression, as well as the gender expression of those who are receiving the adoration. So this poem is called Chutney Mashup, and it's written in the form of a chutney poem, which is echoic of chutney music. What I've done is I've taken several songs important to my community, I've translated them, and I've made a mashup of the lyrics and jammed them into one poem. What you hear in Guyanese Bhojpuri or Caribbean Hindustani, you will hear in translation at the end of the poem. Chutney Mashup. आज सवलिया हम न जाइबे बेहतर बलमा उलट पवन छल गया चादर बिछाओ. You tie your veil to meet me in the courtyard, though there no neem tree grows. You wrap your limbs tightly about mine as jamun fruits betray their pedicels and stain the concrete with ruby wine. The Shehinai weeps for us only. Inside, my strength has ebbed. Spread a sheet on the earth, Balma, that when weary we may lie on silk in peace. Despite your wise restraint, your morals will scatter in a fire dance. What God can save us? I will never escape the body's betrayal. The neighbor women jeer at the stains on my veil, my ruined fabric I pleat and tuck at my waist. Today, love, I will not go outside. Against the backwards wind, spread a sheet. And the last poem that I'll read is called Folk Song. I wrote this at Kundiman in a workshop with Leanne Roripa. And it's also a chutney poem. Folk Song. एक गो ठिकाना की खोज में उड़ली, जंगल जंगल गुजार के हमारा मुल्क नहीं. You drown in a flood of bird song. Don't trouble with lyrics. The body is disjoint, warbler and robin, children of broken eggs. How long can the belly hold a flame, lighting perch to perch in sage migration? Take these petals of joy, place them on your tongue. Something inside does not still. A cardinal flame lights into dicot fireworks. This is your chest. This is your garden. Searching for a single perch, I wing jungle to jungle. I have no country. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for the gift of your presence here tonight.
Wow. Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you. That was incredible. There was so much lyricism and beautiful imagery in your poetry. Please support Rajiv. Yeah, the info for his social media handles are on the chat. How are you all doing? Is everyone enjoying the readings? Great. Okay, whoa, I see. Great. I'm really excited to present the next reader. But I'm just gonna do a description again of myself for anyone who might have come in later. I am a brown Mexican trans woman. I have black hair, a black shirt, and earrings with some flowers on them. So up next is a wonderful poet, performer, Woh Chan. Woh Chan is a poet and drag performer. They are a winner of the Night Boat Poetry Prize and the author of Togetherness that will be published in 2022. Woh has received fellowships from MacDowell, New York Foundation of the Arts, Kundiman, and elsewhere. Their poems appear in Poetry, Wasi, Mass Review, No Tokens, and The Margins. As a member of the Brooklyn-based drag burlesque collective Switch and Play, Woh has performed at the Whitney Museum of American Art, MoMA PS1, National Sawdust, New York Live Arts, and elsewhere. Follow their work at the Illustrious Pearl.
Thank you so much, Jimena, for that wonderful introduction. Hi, folks. My name is Woh Chan here. I am tuning in from Brooklyn, Lenape-Hoking Land. And I am a non-binary East Asian person. I have short black hair and humongous aviator glasses on right now. And I'm wearing a gray shirt, very simple. My background is blurred, but you see a few shapes. There's a big calendar, and then there's like a red diamond poster that has calligraphy on it. And it says pursue. I think that's the word. 追 is just like to go after it, which I realize is kind of my version of live, laugh, love. But you know, a little more to my culture. So let's live, laugh, and love and pursue your dreams. So thank you for this introduction. And Kay, thank you so much for gathering us. Congratulations on the second anniversary of your book. It's inspiring to know that you can just keep celebrating your book and keep bringing people together and like celebrating the long life of a work that you make. Definitely an inspiration to be gathered here and a joy. So thank you for organizing this. And thank you AAWW for having us and putting all this reading together. I know it's a lot of work. As someone who has most recently joined the Great Resignation and left my nonprofit job, I have great appreciation and admiration for anyone who works in nonprofit, because I know it's very difficult. It's a lot of work and it's just tough. So thank you for everything you do to make the arts happen. So I have my first book is coming out. It's called Togetherness. Oh, I have a little, oh, it's blurring it out. I have a little, this is a sneak peek of the cover. And I'm gonna be reading some poems from it. I'm excited. It's coming out in September with Nightboat Books. Performing Miss America at Bushwig 2018, then chilling. Breathe. Some red dolphins, these bare feet busted, tore through my capezios unmoisturized. They join your pilgrim black boot. Oh, my mammal. The wide weekend's long disclosure of drugs drawn, precious, depressed, high function, high anxious. 2018 gifts us fed dossiers on our stupendous thumbs down needs. You need therapy. I need money. We ditch our brains, unable to shred the fog of futures where civics, passion, paycheck, and pleasure meet. 2 hours ago, we ran late through slashing rain on Smith, tumbling you, your sister, family in the Uber XL backseat helped me paste a glittering red America on my toilet paper sash. We made it early at Bushwig, barely attended. I exploded the bouquet, rolled nakedly on stage. I didn't expect to make $14 cash crumpled. I took mushrooms, time unclenched. I found you, sipping rosé back bar. I was so happy, joy was flapping its wings in the dust bath. You said I didn't seem different, but by then I could no longer bear violence, however simulated. I wanted only to see soft things. Your empath friend, Our Lady of Paradise, gives guided meditations, undoing some violence in synchrony. She sings under the megawatts of her holographic leotard. New songs about her gender dysphoria. My smile pancakes beyond the edges of my Cuisinart face. She's so great, I say, stretching like an accordion. But how useful are words now? By then I had lost the white pearls glued on my décolleté. They dropped far like seeds from a seagull's asshole. Thinking about a feeling is like photocopying a feeling. That scanning light is safe. I brag my brain is fearless, yet I wear my heart smeared across my face, waiting for the all-gender bathrooms with you. I just wanted to sit and melt like Kerrygold into your fur coat. You said it was real. I knew that. I felt it. So this is my first, this is my debut, and as poets know, debuts are kind of just like I don't know, however many years you've lived of your life crammed into one book. So this book is about doing drag. It's about queer friendship. It's about growing up in my family's Chinese restaurant in Fredericksburg, Virginia. And it's also about a deportation proceeding battle that my parents and I went through in the mid 2015. So there are poems that are kind of address the state, address structures of power. And I kind of wrote them all in this burst when I was lucky enough to go on my first art residency, and I found myself in nature. But the one catch was that I was 1 month out from my deportation hearing, and I was living the most privileged moment of my art life, right? Just like going outside and seeing the trees and feeling just completely like losing my mind, you know, like I have no idea what's going to happen. And yet here I am in the middle of the woods. So I wrote these poems addressed to nature that I'm going to read through. At nature, I avoid you. With all my heart, I sit on toilets and travel. on gravel exclusively. Migration is the most expensive cut of meat. It braids me to my birth. I was gived lungs. I was gived brunch. I was gived up to daylight and diagnosed mammaria absentia, a ho-hum souffle in the oven. I collapsed. My father scooped the soggy mess of me in his hands and declared, "What a modernist." Under the operating light, I was lifted, constructed. My teeth glittered in Cantonese. What makes you possible? In its premiere, you watched Chopped at Gold's Gym, bouncing on a treadmill toward a flat screen of competitors. You are a child of a restaurant, steeped in sodium and stir fry. Something strange now, you burn calories on a conveyor belt powered by the other burning of prehistoric flora. At night, you slip into bed and wait to wake at the banging of your door by your brother's fist. For the next 12 hours, you stand next to your mother at the Fortune Gourmet. People eat rice, people sip cola, people drop broccoli on the carpet and flee. You were 16 then. You still had a healthy relationship with television. Reading the Yelp reviews of your family's restaurant, a mistake. Lacking any lasting impression. The food is good, but the service is awful. Waitstaff is surly and inattentive. 23 reviews. Your mother's English taped up with smiles, your father's eyes peeking out from the kitchen, and your brother, who remains an asshole in every description. Lauren M. details in a 1-star review an argument over a delivery he brought to her house. It is so authentic, it is painful to read. Your brother becomes angry and slams a full box of food onto her driveway. In February, the steam rises from the wet noodles on the asphalt, rising with his heavy breathing. Your brother is 32 and has spent exactly half his life delivering food. Your mother has shingles and no doctor. Your father, hypertension, no doctor. You have a college degree and will not go back there. Lauren M.'s profile has 0 friends and 1 review. This is a shout out to Rajiv's poem. I wish I could wake up and make a sincere apology. I woke dreaming instead of a past lover rimming my asshole, his persona shifting into my brother's face. I moaned. Sunbeams blasted through thin curtains. I felt the fabric of my boxers shift against my anus. I felt regret to wake, then joy to memory, then annoyance, shame at an old feeling, clean in the mirror of seawater, the face that is yours, wrinkling and transparent. Observe the beauty of an emotion. Observe the beauty of an emotion changing. You seem to believe that you must avoid discomfort in your life to actually live. My therapist said that, and then he told me he had to stop taking my insurance. At the rate of $250 a session, I could continue into his newly private practice. Was this an exercise in disappointment? I didn't feel a hint of sadness, bored, and then resigned. I felt poor at the trial-sized humanity of other people and myself, a smallness that could make the rainbowed mildew of my bathtub weep to grow lush. The cat, half in light and lounging in the window of the real estate office, he stares at the big people living, stacked domino in the blueprint of some Montague Street. I'm gonna read maybe 3 more poems. I hope everyone's doing well. Thumbs up. Can you hear me? Am I audible? Okay, great. Yeah, so there's a series of poems in this book about Chopped. It was like, I was just obsessed with watching Chopped. There's probably, some kind of like restaurant kind of trauma built into there. And also just like television is kind of like CPR for the brain, you know, when you're so depressed, you're just like, I need this 45-minute like dopamine hit. And it's, yeah. So yesterday, you took a shit so big at the office that it refused to flush. It was a Monday. You remember your roommate once said that food is like paying rent to your body. How can you afford this then? And for how long? When you yanked the lever to draw another surge of water, the turd stayed, dense and stayed once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times, unimpressed by the rush of plumbing, the clear and swirling water around a single object. So terrified of your own feces, it's patriotic, you stare into the bowl with great reverential anxiety. It is like history, private, that only the parts of you unseen have memory of its creation. What in this world is so defiant, so honest and immune to eviction that it dares you to destroy it with your own bare hands? Okay, I'm gonna read 2 more poems. Okay. Well, I can't choose which 2. Let's see. At nature, who's willing to forget, pity, disintegrate down to the needle point, red as a kidney bean. I was once a fetus. Don't I deserve some innocence? I feel the beating of my UNICEF heart. It has grown deep. I swear, surefire nature implanted within. Nature is everything, everything, except the artist, which I have decided is me. All night I've been touching myself. Don't try to catch up. The sun is a circle in the sky, and I'm undefeated. A calendar, that's one box following another. Truthfully, I don't think I have the capacity to love right now. Yet, call me back. I do want to see you topless as myself when in spring I deny thy daddy and still so American. O'er the ramparts, I am lightning, swirling with tits the size of late blooming birds' nests. I hate that word, yet I kissed the rod so I would not strike the barn, which means the animals, the upright ox, femme sheep, the coupled rabbits are safe. Your Lord, who is Lord, and the manifold beasts suckled and slept under the eternal twitching stars of suburbia, how I want so badly to be with you and not sincerely. If silence is golden, silence is violence, then violence is golden.
Well,
Yes.
the audio is kind of there's some noise coming.
Oh, it's my papers. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
It's always about my papers. Being
Could you
messed
start
up, aren't
over?
they? I'm not triggered at all. Okay.
Thank you.
That was golden. If silence is golden and silence is violence, then violence is golden. No, you must respond. I've pondered this ass up in the bath thinking, were you not my only source of information, I would not talk to you. I believe that art and violence are the only things that can truly change another person. It unnerves me that most people cannot, will not appreciate either. I think that's my time. Thank you all so much. Congratulations, Kay. Thank you for bringing us together. And I'm so happy to have shared my work. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Whoa. Those poems are so good. I cannot wait for Togetherness that will be published by Nightboat. Whoa, do you know the exact date when it will be published? If you do, I'm gonna be looking out. September. Okay, September. I'm so excited for togetherness. The amount of talent in this group is, yeah, incredible. Thank you, Chrysanthemum, Rajiv, Woh. Up next is the K. I'm really excited to hear Kay read. Kay Ulanday Barrett, aka Brown Round Boy, is a poet, essayist, cultural strategist, and A+ napper. They are the winner of the 2022 Cy Twombly Award for Poetry from the Foundation for Contemporary Arts and a recipient of a 2020 James Baldwin Fellowship at MacDowell. Their second book, More Than Organs, published by Sibling Rivalry Press in 2020, received a 2021 Stonewall Honor Book Award by the American Library Association and is a 2021 Lambda Literary Award finalist. They have received fellowships from Bona Voices, Monsoon Arts, Macondo, and the Lambda Literary Review. They have featured at the United Nations, the Lincoln Center, the Hemispheric Institute, Symphony Space, Brooklyn Museum, Doge Poetry, the Poetry Foundation, the School of the Arts Institute, Manchester Pride, and more. Their contributions are found in the New York Times, Academy of American Poets, Color Lines, Asian American Literary Review, The Advocate, Al Jazeera, Nylon, Vogue, The Rumpus. For more information, go online at kbarrett.net. I'm really, really excited, for Kay. This is, again, in celebration for More Than Organs. Congrats, Kay. And I'm so happy to be a part of this.
Thanks everybody for coming. I want to thank deeply Chrysanthemum, Rajiv, and Woh, Jimena for hosting, T for always looking out, and all the AAWW staff, as well as Pro Bono ASL. You know, my book still feels like it's first year. I think the pandemic time has really messed me up. And I was actually crying to a friend that like, I have not sold this book in person. Like I've not given it to somebody and said, here you go. And for those of you, I know some of my students are here. I've gone to some of your universities. Y'all know that this is how we build and thrive. So I appreciate you for being here, my chosen family, my mentors, my peers, my loves. And so I'm just gonna kick it with my poems. Intro, my name is Kay Ulanday Barrett. My pronouns are he, they, and sha. I'm currently located on the unceded and occupied land of the Lenape Hoking and Munsee peoples in New Jersey. I am a brown, round, queer Filipinx with glasses and short hair. I wear a sky blue and white color block sweater. And just as an FYI, I have COVID hair these days, so I also have a floral hat on. I open my book with a prologue, and it's the word mahal. So here we are. Mahal, a prologue. In Tagalog, the term mahal is noun and translates to love. However, as an adjective, it means expensive or costly or overpriced or dear or beloved or cherished or valued. This word is shifted in meaning by tone, context, cadence. The word becomes interchangeable, durable, like an imposed tongue, like a pushed out community, like forced migration, like being raised in the hood, like what it meant to leave everything, like what it means to survive most things. There's a way the word becomes all of the things at the same time, not so much a double entendre, more like different routes, traveling along the same curve of body. Everything is at the expense of this word. This book is for all of those who know the breadth of this word. Mahal, now, love. Mahal Adjective, expensive. Aunties love it when the seafood is on sale. Argyle Red Line, Chicago, Illinois, June 1996. In the summertime, the women in my family spin sago like planets, make even Saturn blush. They split the leaves of kangkong with riverbed softness. They are precise, nah? Measure rice by palm lines with laughter and season broth made from creatures' last gasps. You'd swear that they were teenagers again, talking gossip, stretching limbs, elastic, durable, like seaweed. Come dinner time, skilled mouths slurp through the domes of shrimp and crab. This is not a vegan poem. My apologies. They prize the fat. The angles of their teeth splinter claw, snap sinew, dip tart into sweet, then back again. Bitterness balanced. Succulence on succulence is to find flesh from even the smallest of spaces. Women who swallow whole, who make a pile of bones, who suck teeth, taste every morsel until all that is left is a quiet room and shells of what once was. To the daughters of dried fish nets, whose dreams dragged on sand, dragged to this country, they bring home recipe years later, flick joylets to garlic, salabat to the sick, culinary remix, tell me and my cousins, boy, this is how you stay alive in this cold country. Morning in the Midwest by taste bud. And afterwards, they keep the ocean husks for another meal, cause to get a good deal is to double. And anybody from an island will tell you that is where the true flavor is. What is hunger anyway? But the carving out of emptiness, the learning to always save something for later. This next poem, I don't know, there are foods, people say that I don't dislike a lot of foods, but I used to hate artichokes. I see a lot of friends here who I've dined with, Lisa, big fan of artichokes, but I used to hate them. But then I was given a prompt by my partner, Jazz, to say, write about artichokes. So here we are. And this is gonna come from my new book, yet to be published. Artichoke. How one can be prickly tender, how to work, how to scrape, how to green, and yet on the inside, how to purple, how to majestic. Someone thought to open up the sharpest thing, rename it meal, flesh center barricaded by miscellaneous knives, whole life likely a dare. I too know what it is to breathe shield, center barricaded by miscellaneous lives, what it is to be jagged, to be your own bouquet, confused for ornament, wrapped limbs into knotted lonely, disowned carnivorous, maybe to be steamed, to unhinge joints, to want to be believed, to be beloved, to be known for your buttery, to be raked of it, yes, to live honestly and be considered thistle. Beget a body noble, something more than circumstance, than exterior, fed up with being mistaken for a weed, ache to splay like fireworks, seen as extra, seen as too much work, blithely considered at Brooklyn dinner parties to be an acquired taste and too fancy, or how do you even eat that? Shimmer silk from center. Want nothing more than to be pride, than for someone to just dig in, to be brave or curious, to quest and use all hands to spread limbs, not mind the bold foliage, thin blade skin draws blood when held too tightly, wish for somebody to just say, this looks impossible. But what if this could be my most favorite thing? But somewhere inside, there's Blossom. So I have 2 more poems. While looking at photo albums, I don't know, as a child of a migrant, I feel like, also as like somebody whose family isn't living, you know, photo albums are these markations that when I was younger were just ways to archive ourselves. And so, yeah, photo albums, Christmas Eve 2016. Before everyone died in my family, the first definition I learned was my mother's maiden name, Ulanday, which literally means of the rain. And biology books remind us that pouring has a pattern, has purpose. Namesake means release, and for my mother meant flee, meant leave. Know exactly what parts of you slip away. Drain sediment of a body is how a single mama feels on the graveyard shift. Only God is awake, is where my family banked itself. A life rooted in rosaries like nuns in barricades scream people power, 1 out of 5 leave to a new country. The women in my family home, in my heart, like checkpoints, which is what they know, which is like a halt, not to be confused for stop, which is what happened to my mom's breath when she went home. For the last time, I didn't get to hold her hand as she died. I said I tried, just translates to I couldn't make it. In time, I tell myself, ocean salt and tear salt are one and the same. I press my eyes shut, cut, ghost towel, cheeks splint, wood worn, which is to say, learn to make myself a harbor. Anyway, once I saw a pamphlet that said, what to do when your parent is dead. And I couldn't finish reading, but I doubt it informs the audience what will happen, which is to say, you will pour your face and hands and smother your mother's scream on everything you touch. Turn eyelids into oars. Go, paddle to find her. Thank you so much. Okay, one last poem. And it's After, with gratitude, Samia Bashir, one of my mentors, who helped look over this manuscript. I just want to thank Samia and TC Tolbert explicitly for being mentors and supports for More Than Organs. Tell a child about something that causes you fear or dread. It is okay to just be wounded sometimes, to gape, to cry, to rock, to shiver, to rumble, to ramshackle, to shiver again, to shake ancestors in your sleep, to be part dead, to razor, to lash, to hammer, to hang, to be the thing that flails, to be cathedral, to be gravestone, to speak cobweb. Let me tell you, to die every day is the kind of pulse that makes music. To be the kid who leans against books more than people, to be the book as it opens and closes, folds in on its damn self on the same paragraph, to be that underlined stanza whose body bursts, syntax scars naked, love body, when it emblazons family curse, when you are bad joke at the table, when you are shuffled scrapes of forks, that weirdo told to shut up, forsaken, let lonely, make a lens so clear that you become intergalactic. Let the residue be a blanket you shed every season. Let your gaze be salve and sign of the cross. Let you be blessing no one understands. Let you be the words a stranger waits for. Let you have bunker. Let you love and be bunker for the space you crawl into. Let you guffaw. Let you cackle. Let you be last one left. Let you be last one. Let you be last. let you be, let you, let. Thank you so much, AAWW. Thank you so much, Pro Bono ASL, Jimena for hosting, and all the readers. I appreciate you so much. Please get my book if you can, with the 2 stickers. Pew pew. Also, please support Rajiv's book, Anti-Man, as well as Woh's book coming up, Togetherness at Night Boat. I appreciate you all, chosen family, for being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kay, for allowing us to celebrate you. It's been an honor. Let's show some love for Kay. Woo!
Hi, thank you so. Oh, hi, thank you so much. Thank you so much to Jimena for being a powerhouse host this evening. Thank you so much to Kay for being a powerhouse curator for this evening, and congratulations again on the 1-year anniversary of More Than Organs. It's
2 year.
2 year. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was like, it feels like a very long year.
I know it's
2 years.
Wild Panasonic time,
2
friend.
years. Congratulations. It makes me so happy that we're all here to celebrate you. And I just want to thank you everyone for joining us this evening. I want to call for a virtual round of applause in the chat. And on screen, if you'd like, we'd like to thank our thank our host, Jimena. Thank you to Kay. Thank you to our luminescent featured poets, Chrysanthemum, Woh, and Rajiv. Thank you to Travis and Jenna from Pro Bono ASL for offering vital services. And thanks to you all for sharing your evening with us. All of our readers, we'd like you to stay on for just a couple of minutes so we can get a quick screenshot of all of us, and we'll let our audience trickle out to our audience. We hope to see you again soon, and have a good night. Okay, readers, if we could just get everyone on camera so we can get this screenshot.
I'm gonna just take them. I'll give you guys a countdown, a warning. How does that sound? Just the looming voice from the void. Okay, great. Let's see, we're gonna wait, I think. Awesome. Is that everyone? Yes, okay. All right, we're gonna do it. 3, 2, 1, smile. Lovely. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take another. There we go. Okay, great. Very cute. Awesome.
Thank you, friends. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Pro Bono ASL. Eileen from the Asian American Literary, yes, has been live tweeting us, so the literary review. So thank you so much for that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I miss all y'all. Can we just stay on and chat? Like, can we just catch up?
I can't.
I know.
He is like,
I'm like, Justine, play some overtime.
I'm like,
out and chat.
Poems. I'm tired, everybody. Thank you so much. Your sets were amazing.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, totally.
Thank you. Happy birthday, book.
Sorry, I switched it up.
More Than Organs. Thank you all so much for being here. Have a good evening. I hope to see y'all sometime soon.
Bye,
See y'all
friends.
soon.
Get water and
Bye.
food and rest.
Bye.
Take care.